Alright guys, welcome to another video. My name is Doug. I am the Bearded Outdoorsman. So welcome to my channel and my videos. So today, if you missed it, we did a video the other day. It was the Nomadik Spring Shelter unboxing. So their quarterly box was titled Spring Shelter, and we unboxed that. That video is live, so if you missed that, go check it out. Well, the big item in that package was the Spring Shelter. So this is an Exploria Supply Company All Weather Shelter. So I'm gonna show you, I'm not in my hammock, I'm gonna show you how to set this up. I'm gonna show you one of my favorite ways to set this up. I have not even pulled it out of this drawstring bag yet. So there are stakes, and there are 8 reflective paracords with tensioners. It's got a 9-point anchor system. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rig it up between that tree right there and this tree right here. And I'm gonna show you how I set that up. So it's gonna take me a minute to get this out of here, undo all the paracord. So while I do that, you watch the intro. We'll see if we time it about right. But I'm gonna show you, this is just gonna be a basic setup from tree to tree, tying out the 2 corners. So yeah, I'll explain more when we get back. So I'll see you in a minute. All right guys, welcome back. So I've gotten it out of the bag. It did take a little longer than expected, but I want to show you a couple things. So these are the stakes that you get. They are pointed on one end. They're pretty good stakes. That I was not expecting something this quality. They're aluminum. They're pretty lightweight. So you get 6 of these, and then you get 8 of these. Now, my biggest suggestion to you, so let me back up. So Nomadik, you have until April 15th to order a quarterly box to get this box, Spring Shelter. Go back and watch my video. You'll see everything you get in the box if you order by April 15th. My suggestion to you, don't order that box. Get this shelter and throw it in a bag. Set it up. Learn how to set it up, then put it somewhere. You get 8 of these. So they're paracord. They've got a little tensioner on one end. They were really good for those stakes right there. But you get these and they all come tied together. So it took me a little while to untangle them. If you know how to untie them without being a tangled mess, then cool. Thumbs up to you. But I don't. I always get them tangled up when I'm trying to undo them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the video again and get started, and then I'll show you my setup. What I'm gonna show you today is one of my go-to setups, especially a setup for whenever I'm hammock camping. So just the style of setting it up. And I'll show you a couple tweaks that you can do with this setup. But this tarp has 9 anchor points. I'm not exactly sure where they're at because it's almost square. So we're gonna see, we're gonna learn together. But I'm gonna start setting this up, and I'll be back in just a minute when I'm ready to really get started. So I am back. So we have, throw that over my shoulder. So we have that. So we have our tarp here. So what I want to do is I want to find the corner, one of the corners. So we've got our corners here. You've basically got a top and a bottom. So this is going to be the bottom. That is going to be the top. So let me start this on that tree over there. And actually we'll start it on this tree. So all I want to do, and I'm not doing this fancy, I'm not doing any fancy knots. All I'm going to do is just loop this over and tie a square knot because it's something that I can get undone fairly easy. We're going to do a different knot on the other side. So we're just going to do a square knot on that. That'll tighten up. I'm not sleeping under this tonight, so I would do it a little bit different if I was. But so we've got our tarp, and on this, all I'm gonna do now, the other thing, I'm not sure which side is the long side and which side is the shorter side. Because one is a little bit shorter than the other. So for this, I'm just going to do a slip knot, which will hold tension. We got plenty of slack for the other side. Get tight. All right, let me get another rope. Now we're gonna find our other corner. And over here, we're gonna do the same configuration. Now at this point, we have both ends tied off. This is kind of how I would set up for hammock camping, because once I connect the two corners on the bottom, then we're ready to do whatever under there. Now, could we get this a lot tighter? Yes, we could. That box actually came with a taut line that we can run as a ridge line and get this really, really super tight. I'm not worried about this, just demonstrating how you can set this tarp up. So we've got both corners, opposite corners tied out. Now, all we need are our lines. And at this point, we have a multitude of configurations we can go with. We can tie this bad boy. And on this, I'm not going to use the grommet. Actually, we don't even need the rope. We can use the stake, and I'm fixing to just have to cut and show you this, but we can use the stake, go through our hole, and now we can take this straight to the ground. Then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Now, we have a shelter that will keep you dry in the rain. We could get this a lot tighter up here, and we could tighten this up now that we have the end points down. We could tighten that up and have it a little bit better up here, a little more taut. But like I said, for demonstration purposes, this is all you need to keep dry in the rain. You have enough rope that you have these tie out points here. You can't quite see it on camera. Let's see if we can adjust. So you have tie out points here that you can connect to, and you can make this, pull this down a little bit tighter. So you can do a lot of configuration with a square tarp. If you had that ridge line in here, this sag would not be there. It would go away. Now, to show you my favorite setup, to set up, you're gonna have to give me a minute and I'll be right back. All right, so I cut that down with the silky saw that also came in our spring shelter box. It comes in this nice little hard-sided case. You can put it on your belt. I didn't feed it through my belt. I just slid this little metal hook through my belt or over my belt. So we'll take that off for now. So that's what we did. We cut this with the silky saw, and I'm fixing to get the silky saw back out. So what I'm gonna do, if you are setting up a bushcraft shelter, or you are whatever you want to do, normally when I go hiking, I have trekking poles. So if you're not carrying trekking poles, then this is an option. This is my favorite setup by far. When I go hiking, I do this setup during the day, and then when it's nighttime, bedtime, I take this part down. But I can do it with my trekking poles, but I'm gonna use this tree. So I've cut it down. I wanna use the fat end, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut me just a little bit of a notch right in the middle. And it doesn't have to be real deep. All we're doing is just making a guide. I don't like doing this without gloves or something, so be careful. All right. All right, so now let's put this up. It's a really nice saw too, by the way. It's a Silky Pocket Boy rubber handle. I really like that saw. Never had a Silky. All right, so we've got our stick, and it's about, I don't know, 4 foot, about 4 foot long. So now what we want is we're gonna pull this side out. We're gonna take our string here, we'll stick that in our pocket. This one we're just gonna tie this off. Again, this doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just gonna tie it off. So now that we have this tied off to this grommet, we're gonna pull this out. We're gonna take our stick. We want to come in about here. I'm gonna take skinny side down. A little bit of a tilt, a little bit of an angle. Now we want to come off of that, take our stake, and stake our guy line down. So now what you have just done is you have activated porch mode, porch mode, porch mode. So now you can sit under here and you can see out. If we had done our tarp a little bit higher, you'd be able to just walk under this tarp and it not go anywhere. So that's gonna be pretty stable. Now there's some things you can do to stable that up some. It's got a little wobble. You could bury it just a little bit in the ground. That'll help. Put some rocks around it if you're somewhere where you got some bigger rocks. But this is the mode that I like whenever I go hammock camping. Side of my tarp, I pull up like this. When it's time to go to bed, I take this down and I pull it down to the ground, and I have a lot of protection. This is not gonna be anything for serious winter time, but it will keep the rain, snow off of you. It's not gonna do a whole lot with wind drafts, but it will keep you dry. That's the biggest thing. So I really love a tarp like this. Has so many different uses. We could tilt it the other way and not have it in a diamond shape. We could have it the other way. Use these parts on the tree and then pull down and do 2 sides as porch mode. There's so many different options with a tarp like this. So they're really awesome. Go check out Nomadik. I will have a link in the description below for Nomadik. And go check out their quarterly box. You have until April 15th to order a quarterly box. It's gonna run you $150. They come 4 times a year. It's $150 per box. You get a lot of good stuff. Just setting this up, this is a tarp. We use the saw. I didn't bring the chair out here, but it also came with a tri-leg chair. We could have set that down. But yeah, plenty of guy lines. These paracord guy lines are reflective paracord. So at night, you're not gonna trip over them. If you have any kind of light source, you're not gonna trip over them. So they work really well. And yeah, an awesome tarp, awesome company, love Nomadik. They keep you up to date with gear, up-to-date gear, new gear that's useful. That's the best part about it, is this is useful. I will use this tarp. This isn't gonna just get thrown in a closet somewhere or given away or sold. This is going to get used, and I absolutely love it. Love the way it comes. Comes with plenty of rope to do the things that you need to do. You can have it in porch mode like this, and we can pull these down to give it a little bit more tension. I mean, there's so many. You got 9 tie-up points with one in the middle. So you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and one in the center. There's options, endless options. So go check out Nomadik, check out these, and that's all I've got for today. It's hot. I need to find some shade. I got some shade. So until next time, stay bearded, get outdoors, and God bless.